Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled among gentle hills and green fields, lived an old man named James William. At the age of 73, he was known to all as Jimmy. His beard was silver, his eyes full of stories, and his voice carried the warmth of decades gone by. He lived alone in a modest cottage surrounded by apricot trees and wildflowers. Every morning, he would brew his tea, feed the birds, and take a slow walk to the nearby lake. James William had lived a full life. He had been a teacher, a father, a husband, and now a grandfather. But lately, something had started to stir within him. He often sat by the lake, wondering how many more springs he would see, how many more winters he would survive. One chilly morning, while walking to the lake, James William met a young traveler named Joseph. They exchanged greetings, and the young man, fascinated by the elder's calm presence, asked, "Jimmy, how do you know how long you might live?" Jimmy smiled and said, "Life doesn't come with guarantees, my son, but it does leave signs. Would you like to hear about them?" And so began Jimmy's tale, not of fiction, but of real life. Lived with eyes open and a heart full of wisdom. These are the 7 signs he shared, signs that, according to his experience, and the quiet observations of age, can predict how long you may live after 70. Sign 1. Your walking speed. The first sign, Joseph, Jimmy said, is how you walk. When your feet still carry you with rhythm and balance, it's a sign your body is still working in harmony. He told Joseph about 2 of his childhood friends, Michael and David. Both were the same age. Michael still walked daily, covering long paths without needing a stick. His steps were firm, and his posture upright. But David, who had stopped walking regularly, now struggled to cover even short distances. His steps were short, and his balance unsteady. When your legs slow down, Jimmy explained, your life slows with them. But when they move with purpose, your spirit does too. Sign 2. Grip strength. Your hands, Jimmy continued, holding out his own weathered palms. Tell another story. Can you still open a jar, carry a basket of apples, or help a child climb a tree? That strength says a lot. He described how he kept a hand gripper near his chair and would squeeze it 10 times every morning and evening. It wasn't just to strengthen his hands, it was to remind himself that he still held on to life. His friend John, once a carpenter, had ignored his weakening hands. He could no longer carry groceries or even write letters. Jimmy saw that as a sign, not just of aging but of giving up. When you lose your grip, he said softly, you start letting go of life. Sign 3. Balance. One of the simplest tests, Jimmy told Joseph, is to stand on one leg. If you can hold yourself steady, even for 10 seconds, it shows your brain and body are still connected. He challenged Joseph to try it. The young man stood on one foot with ease. Jimmy smiled and did the same, his arms out, wobbling slightly but holding steady. Every evening, he said, I do this while brushing my teeth. It may look silly, but it keeps me in tune with myself. His cousin, Robert, had ignored his imbalance. A single fall led to a broken hip and months in bed. He never walked the same again. Jimmy said, "It's not just about standing. It's about staying grounded, mentally and physically." Sign 4. Your sleep. Sleep is when your body repairs, Jimmy said, staring into the horizon. If you sleep well, you live well. He shared how his wife used to sleep like a bird, lightly and restlessly. In her last years, her sleep worsened. She grew weak, her energy gone. Jimmy had made peace with his own sleep. He avoided late-night tea, read a book before bed, and woke up with the birds. He kept a routine, and that routine gave him strength. If your nights are calm, he told Joseph, your days will be kind. Sign 5. Appetite. When a man loses interest in food, Jimmy warned, he starts losing interest in life. He explained how, even now, he looked forward to his meals. Not fancy, but full of color and flavor. Fresh fruits, lentils, vegetables, and warm bread. He ate slowly and enjoying every bite. His friend Charles, once full of life, stopped eating properly. His appetite faded, and with it, his energy and strength. Within a year, His health declined rapidly. Food, Jimmy said, is not just fuel. It's a celebration of being alive. Sign 6. How you handle stress. At this age, Jimmy sighed, worry can be more dangerous than disease. He recalled a man named Thomas, who constantly worried about his children, the news, even the weather. His face was always tense, his heart always racing. He passed away younger than most. I had troubles too, Jimmy admitted, but I chose to talk to the trees, write my thoughts, and sometimes cry into the night. But I let go. That's the secret. He showed Joseph a small diary where he wrote one thing he was grateful for every day. Peace of mind, he whispered, is medicine. Sign 7. Social connection. The last sign, Jimmy said, is who still calls your name. He told Joseph about the weekly tea gathering at his home. Old friends, young neighbors, sometimes strangers. All would come, sip tea, and share stories. Laughter echoed from his cottage often. But he also spoke of Kevin, who shut himself away after his wife passed. No visitors, no calls. His loneliness ate away at him, until even doctors could do nothing. If you are remembered, Jimmy said with teary eyes, you are alive. If you are missed, you have lived well. The turning point. Joseph was moved. He had come searching for stories but found lessons for life. Before leaving, he asked, Jimmy, what if someone is failing in these signs? What if their grip is weak, or their balance is off? Jimmy smiled gently and replied, then they must change. Life does not stop for anyone. You must walk again, eat again, love again. You have to change yourself according to life. That's how you live longer. That's how you live better. Moral of the you are never too old to change. The body gives you signs, but the choice is yours. You can ignore them, or you can act on them. If you walk with purpose, eat with joy, rest with peace, and stay connected with the world around you, life will stay connected with you. As Jimmy said, life doesn't ask for perfection, just participation. And so, dear listener, as you sit watching this video, ask yourself, which of these signs are strong in you, and which need work?
Thanks for watching. Hit the bell icon for the daily updates. Please do like, subscribe, and share with your friends.